Hello there. Last year, I mean, prior to the pandemic, long before the pandemic, I had one of those weeks that was pretty much a write-off for me, mainly because I had man flu. And it was actually the second time in a period of 4 weeks, and I had a fever. I had constant, real painful headaches. I had a blocked nose. My muscles ached for a few days. I got burning hot and then freezing cold. So I took a few days off and I spent some time in bed recovering. And I just about avoided having to go to A&E at the hospital, and I only just avoided having to call in a priest to read me my last rites. It was bad, but as you know, man flu is. I went ahead and mentioned this on my social media channels, just in case anyone was trying to get hold of me, and because there was going to be no output from me on social media for a little while, and I felt dreadful, but I kind of managed to poke a bit of fun at myself to some extent. And then something that's happened a few times throughout my career happened again, and then I've got a couple of messages, Facebook comments and tweets of the ilk that were, if you work in the field of hypnotherapy, why don't you use hypnosis on yourself? Why don't you use hypnosis to cure yourself? Now here's the thing. I certainly do use hypnosis for myself, most days, not just for helping me with my health when needed, but aiding me with my studies, my research, my gym recovery and motivation, being effective within my business, being productive, dealing with stress, getting to sleep, and a number of other such applications. However, it's a big however. The applications of self-hypnosis that I write about, that I talk about extensively here and a number of other places, those that feature in my books, audio programs on my blog, the extensive research within my PhD studies, they're yet to show me anything that makes anybody wholly immune to every kind of illness, especially those brought home frequently by two young children from school, for example, as was the case for me. Even more than that, though, I mean, the cure to the common cold and the flu virus, still eludes medical science, and this was very much the case prior to coronavirus, and it's still very much the case today. So to expect a hypnotherapist to be able to cure himself or herself using self-hypnosis is probably a bit unrealistic, isn't it? I mean, you know what? There are applications of self-hypnosis and heterohypnosis that can advance immune functioning to a degree, and are promoted as much during the recent pandemic. And I'll put some links to the articles on the page that you're watching this video on. However, what we can do doesn't extend to being able to cure or ensure that we are untouchable by illnesses. I mean, during the pandemic, even there was a couple of prominent NLP trainers suggesting that you can install a mental filter to protect you from coronavirus, and this is pretty irresponsible stuff. There's currently no solid scientific evidence to support this, and if there were, don't get me wrong, we'd all be celebrating it. It doesn't end there, though. I've been at dinner parties, I've been in my classrooms, at restaurants, at events of all kinds, and people have kind of punctuated the conversation with a sentence along the lines of, "Oh, I bet you don't have to worry about that, do you? I bet you don't have to worry about that, do you?" And this is the sentence that often comes after discussions about stress or anxiety or worry or depression or lethargy or procrastination or bad habits and so on. That is, because hypnotherapists help people deal with these issues, they're somehow assumed to be immune to them. They are impervious to the detrimental effects of any aspect of life. Realistically, it's crazy to think that. It's downright unrealistic. I came into this field because of mental health challenges of my own. And though hypnotherapy helped me greatly and was one of the main reasons for coming into this field, other therapeutic modalities helped me greatly as well. It doesn't mean that I am somehow then immune. And I'm certainly not perfect in the mental health department. I suffer from time to time, as a great many people do. It's ongoing on occasions. My point here is that, the same way that being a hypnotherapist does not make us psychologically perfect and impenetrable against all life's stresses and mental ailments, it also doesn't make us immune to symptoms of common cold or flu. But I do use it along the way to help as much as possible, and as much as is useful. In fact, I'll also include a bunch of links on this page that may help you with certain symptoms of cold and flu, and coronavirus type symptoms, though it won't cure you, but can offer up some additional comfort, for example, some relief. It's as if that knowing about and using hypnosis should somehow bestow upon you invulnerability or some sort of superpower. And in some senses, it is, I suppose, and I do champion it as much, but within the realms of what we know can be done and what we have evidence to support. And it's why it's one of the reasons why I'm wearing one of my favorite gym t-shirts today, ironically, because it's like we're not able to have a weakness, and should you express one, people tend to jump on it a little bit. At least that has been my experience. And this strange kind of attitude towards hypnotherapists does show that people believe hypnosis is powerful, and I think that in and of itself is useful. But it also shows an ongoing level of misunderstanding. Hypnosis and hypnotherapy has realistic limits, despite the way it's often portrayed. And I think we need to keep such things in mind. I think if hypnosis was portrayed more accurately, it would actually be applied more effectively and become better respected in the public awareness, and perhaps perceived with more credibility. Anyway, I just said I do use hypnosis to help myself along the way. So, we can use self-hypnosis for a wide range of things, and if not necessarily to cure, then we can use it to speed up recovery or affect our perception of our symptoms, and in turn increase our levels of comfort, if and when we are poorly. So again, I mentioned already, I'll include a bunch of links on this page for you to use self-hypnosis to help yourself. That was all for today. Do subscribe to this channel, and you'll get notifications of my latest videos as they happen. Do go visit my college website for details of our upcoming classroom-based courses and all of our online courses related to hypnotherapy and self-hypnosis. I send you my very best wishes. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye for now.